If you are over 60, a single small habit could be quietly increasing your risk of a stroke as you sleep. No warning signs, no discomfort. One moment you feel fine, and the next you can't raise your arm, your speech becomes slurred, or your balance completely vanishes. I'm Dr. Marcus Bell, and as a brain doctor, I've witnessed far too many older adults experience this, and it's not due to smoking, a poor diet, or a lack of exercise, but because of something they believed was helping them. Vitamins. Yes, you heard that right. Vitamins. Each day, millions of seniors use supplements, hoping to shield their bones, elevate their energy, or maintain a sharp memory. And while many can be beneficial, some, particularly in high doses or taken at the wrong time, can silently place your brain in jeopardy. Think about this for a moment. Today, I'd like to guide you through 5 common vitamins that might elevate your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or blood pressure spikes, especially in the early morning hours when your brain is at its most vulnerable. If you've ever used vitamin D, E, B6, A, or niacin, this video could potentially save your life. Before we start, I'm curious to know, have you ever wondered if your vitamins might be causing harm? Type 1 in the comments if you're curious to find out more, or type 0s if this idea is completely new to you. And if brain health is important to you or someone you care about, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Senior Strength Guide for honest science-backed advice created specifically for older adults. Now let's begin with the most surprising one of all, vitamin D. What most people don't realize is that it could transform a peaceful night's sleep into a hazardous one. You've likely heard that it's beneficial for your bones, your mood, and even your immune system. And all of that is true, in moderation, but here's something most seniors are never told. Too much vitamin D, especially when taken at night, can quietly elevate your risk of stroke. I know that might sound shocking, but I have seen it with my own patients. Take Mr. Walter, for instance, a 74-year-old retired Navy vet. He was sharp, disciplined, and incredibly serious about his health. Every single morning, like clockwork, he would line up his supplements, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he purchased over the counter. He was convinced he was protecting his bones. But what he didn't grasp was that this simple daily routine was slowly pushing his body toward a silent catastrophe. One morning, his wife discovered him confused. He was unable to speak clearly. His right arm was limp. A stroke. Overnight, his labs revealed dangerously high calcium levels, stiffened arteries, and blood pressure that was all over the place. The culprit: vitamin D toxicity. You see, when you consume high doses of vitamin D, particularly without medical supervision, it triggers a buildup of calcium in your bloodstream, and your body isn't sure what to do with all that extra calcium, so it deposits it into your arteries, making them rigid and narrow. And guess where that can lead? A blood clot traveling straight to your brain. As we grow older, our arteries naturally begin to lose their flexibility. Add in dehydration, poor sleep, and a calcium surge at night, and you have created the perfect storm for a stroke. The most frightening part: there are often no warning signs. You go to sleep feeling perfectly fine, and wake up to find your life has been forever altered. And here's something you may not know. Many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements in the US have far more than older adults truly need. 5,000 IU, 10,000 IU. People take these daily, thinking that more must be better. But research shows that even 2,000 IU per day could be too much if you aren't deficient. Let me be very clear. If you're taking vitamin D, especially alongside calcium or heart medications, it is absolutely crucial to have your blood levels checked regularly and to always take it in the morning, never before bed. Do you know how many IUs your supplement has? Type D in the comments if you're taking vitamin D right now. Let's get this conversation started. And if this made you think twice, please give this video a like to help others find it too. Now, if that was a surprise, just you wait. The next vitamin is one that many people take for their heart health. But for older adults, it can result in something even more dangerous than a clot: a brain bleed. Let's discuss vitamin E. Vitamin E, often known as the heart helper. If you've been taking it for years, you are not alone. Many people over 60 incorporate vitamin E into their regimen, hoping it will support their heart, improve their circulation, and maybe even enhance memory and skin health. But here's the part that never makes it onto the bottle's label. Too much vitamin E, particularly when combined with common heart medications, can elevate your risk of bleeding in the brain.
Yes.
Even if you are doing everything else right. Let me share a story I will never forget. Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, 81, a retired librarian from Ohio. She was remarkably sharp, witty, and was never seen without a book in her hand. She had a heart valve condition and was taking warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors were monitoring everything very closely. Her blood work was normal, her pressure was stable. But one day, she bought a bottle of natural vitamin E she had seen advertised in a magazine.
Yes.
800 IU per capsule.
Yes.
I thought it would help my memory and circulation. She later told me. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the ER with a severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. A brain scan revealed a hemorrhagic stroke bleeding inside the brain. Not from high blood pressure, not from a fall, but because the combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E had made her blood too thin to properly clot. Just one fragile vessel in her brain had given way. Here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin E in high doses acts as a natural anticoagulant. This means it slows down clotting. If you are already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any blood thinner, and then you add vitamin E, your risk of internal bleeding quietly increases, especially in the brain, where even a tiny bleed can steal your speech, your memory, or your ability to walk. And get this, the recommended daily allowance for older adults is only 15 milligrams, which is about 22 IU. Yet most supplements on store shelves offer 200, 400, or even 1000 IU per capsule. No warnings, no consultations, and many people take them every single day for years. Evelyn survived, but she now needs a cane to walk. Her short-term memory never fully recovered. She told me through her tears, "I just wanted to help myself. I had no idea I was doing harm," and that's the part that truly breaks my heart, because she is not an exception. So many seniors believe that if it's a vitamin, it has to be safe. But the reality is, not every vitamin is safe, especially when you are taking heart or blood pressure medications. You have to speak with your doctor before adding anything new. Now, if the thought of a brain bleed wasn't scary enough, there is another vitamin people take for nerve support and energy that can quietly damage your nerves, and sometimes permanently. Let's talk about vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, often labeled as a nerve support or brain boosters. You've probably seen it in those bottles at the drugstore claiming to assist with energy, focus, or even memory, and perhaps someone even mentioned it's good for aging nerves. But here's what most seniors are never warned about. Too much vitamin B6 can in fact damage your nerves, and sometimes that damage is permanent. Can you imagine that? Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins. He was 76, a retired truck driver from Kansas. He came to my office because his feet were feeling numb, his hands were tingling, and his balance was off. Initially, he just thought it was old age. Then he began to fall, first one time, then again. The third time, he struck his head on the bathroom floor. As I reviewed his supplements, I identified the problem almost immediately. He'd been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. The label promised it supported brain health and circulation, but inside each tablet, 100 milligrams of vitamin B6, and he was taking 2 tablets a day. That's 200 milligrams daily, more than 10 times the recommended safe upper limit for seniors. Now here's the frightening part. Unlike some vitamins that get flushed out in your urine, B6 accumulates in your system over time. And in older adults, it can damage the protective sheath around your nerves, like stripping the insulation from a wire. The result is tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, tremors, and even confusion or memory problems. What's even worse is that the symptoms creep in very slowly. Many people assume it's arthritis, or aging, or early signs of dementia, but it could really be B6 toxicity, a slow, preventable type of nerve damage caused by a pill that was meant to help. And it can become permanent if it isn't caught early enough. Mr. Jenkins was fortunate. We stopped the supplement, and the damage didn't progress, but he still requires a cane. He no longer drives. He told me, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't know I was poisoning it." Let's be clear, vitamin B6 is important, but in very small quantities. Older adults require only about 2 to 10 milligrams a day, and that amount includes what you get from your food. But many brain support pills sold online or in stores contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams. That's not just unnecessary, it is dangerous. So if you are taking any supplement that mentions nerve, brain, or energies, please check the label, know your numbers, and type B6 in the comments if you've taken a supplement like that or know someone who has. Now you might be thinking, well, at least some vitamins like A must be safe. It's just for your eyesight, right? Well, not quite. Let's discuss vitamin A. If you're like most older adults, you have probably heard that vitamin A is crucial for good vision. Maybe you have even taken it for your immune system, skin health, or because someone told you it helps you age with grace. But here's what almost nobody tells you, especially if you're over 60. An excess of vitamin A doesn't just pass through your system, it accumulates. And over time it can raise the pressure inside your skull, mimicking a stroke, damaging your vision, and even impacting your brain. Let me tell you about Miss Dorothy Simmons. She was 79. A retired piano teacher from Oregon. She adored music, taught students right from her living room, and took great pride in her independence. But one day she began experiencing headaches. Then the blurred vision started. Then came dizziness and slurred speech. Her family feared the worst, a stroke. But when we looked at her scans, something surprising appeared. No clot, no bleed. Instead, she had elevated intracranial pressure, too much pressure inside the brain. Her spinal fluid was backing up. Tiny veins in her brain were under immense stress. The cause, vitamin A toxicity. She had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement for more than 5 years, nearly 10,000 IU a day, every single day, without realizing the danger. Here's the key distinction. Vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body keeps it in your liver, your tissues, and even your brain. It doesn't get flushed out like vitamin C or B. And as we get older, our liver function slows down, so that accumulation happens even more quickly. When there is too much vitamin A in the body, it can lead to a condition known as pseudotumor cerebri, or a false brain tumor. The symptoms include headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and even permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. The tricky aspect is that many multivitamins already have the full recommended dose of vitamin A, but some people like Miss unknowingly double or triple that amount by adding skin eye or anti-aging formulas on top of it. The safe upper limit for seniors is roughly 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and that is only if it's needed under medical guidance. But many supplements sold online contain 5,000 or 10,000 IU or more. Taken daily for months or years, it's easy to see how the damage can build up. Miss is gradually recovering, but she now requires regular eye exams, pressure checks, and balance therapy. She told me, "I thought I was doing something positive for my body. I never imagined it could end up hurting my brain." And that is why I'm sharing her story, because this is not about scaring anyone. It's about ensuring you have the correct information so you can protect yourself and your independence. Now, if you thought Eyesight vitamins were risky, wait until you hear what can happen when a vitamin meant for cholesterol and heart health suddenly causes your blood pressure to spike. Let's discuss niacin, vitamin B3, a vitamin you might have used or been advised to take for your heart. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, is often celebrated as a natural method for lowering cholesterol. Some doctors even prescribe it. You'll also see it in heart health supplements, energy drinks, and fortified cereals. But here's what is frequently left out of the conversation, particularly for older adults. In high doses, niacin can silently create serious fluctuations in your blood pressure and potentially even trigger a stroke. Let me introduce you to Mr. Frank Miller. He's 82, a retired postman from Florida. He came into my office with a peculiar combination of symptoms: hot flashes on his face, a pounding feeling in his chest, and dizziness that would come and go each morning. His wife thought it might be anxiety. His son thought it was his blood pressure meds, but the actual cause was something nobody had considered checking. Dennis had been taking an over-the-counter heart-healthy supplement. The front label read, "Supports cholesterol and circulation." The back, 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. He was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily. over 60 times the amount most seniors actually require. Here's what happens when you take niacin in high doses. It causes your blood vessels to suddenly dilate, which is why your face might flush or feel hot. But soon after, those same vessels snap back and constrict. That abrupt tightening can elevate your blood pressure, put stress on your heart, and diminish blood flow to your brain. Over time, this yo-yo effect is like repeatedly tapping a hammer on fragile glass. Eventually something has to give. Dennis experienced what is called a transient ischemic attack, or TI, a mini stroke. His speech was slurred for about 2 minutes, then it returned to normal. He thought it was just a fluke. I had to tell him the difficult truth. His daily supplement meant to aid his heart was quietly damaging his brain. And he is not alone. Many seniors consume high-dose niacin without even being aware of it. They purchase flush-freeze or extended-release versions online, thinking they are safer. But even those formulations can still raise blood pressure, trigger atrial fibrillation, and impact blood sugar levels. Here is what you must know. For older adults, anything over 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only be used under medical supervision. And if you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, or are on medication, please check your labels. Dennis is no longer taking niacin. He's recovering. There's no permanent damage, but he said something to me I will never forget. Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain. So, now that we have gone through 5 common vitamins, each with the potential to quietly harm the brain, you might be asking, what should I take instead? Or even better, what should I eat? Let's talk about real food, the kind that safeguards your brain without all the risks. By now you might be wondering, if these vitamins can be risky, what should I do instead? It's a great question, because the truth is, your body wasn't designed to run on pills. It was built to thrive on real food. Whole, natural, nutrient-rich food that your brain recognizes, absorbs and uses in just the right amounts. Let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret Wilson. She's 73, a retired school principal from Arizona. When I first met her, she pulled out a drawer full of supplements. Vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for heart, B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and a few others for brain support. I'm doing everything right, Doc, she said. But she was feeling dizzy in the mornings. Her balance was off. Her blood pressure kept climbing. Something wasn't adding up. So, we did something radical. We cleared the clutter. One by one we took away the pills and replaced them with food. No magic diet, no fancy program. Just simple whole foods at the right time in the right combinations. Here's what her breakfast looked like. 1 boiled egg for clean protein, half an avocado rich in healthy fats, a slice of whole grain toast, slow steady energy, a handful of blueberries loaded with brain protective antioxidants, a glass of room temperature water to hydrate the brain. Sometimes she added a few walnuts or almonds. That's it. No powders, no pills, just food. Real, recognizable, nourishing. Within just a few weeks, Maggie noticed a difference. Her dizziness faded, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy returned. And she told me her mind felt clearer than it had in years. Here's why it worked. Your brain needs hydration, healthy fats, consistent fuel, and micronutrients in their natural form. It doesn't need mega doses, it needs balance. Some of the best foods for older adults include leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, full of omega-3 to protect brain cells. Berries for polyphenols that reduce inflammation. Nuts and seeds for vitamin E, magnesium, and brain-healthy fats. Whole grains to keep blood sugar stable and support circulation. And remember, these foods don't just protect your brain, they support your heart, bones, mood, and mobility too. You're not just eating, you're healing with every single bite. Final wake-up call. Awareness is the best medicine. At this stage of your life, every single choice matters just a little bit more. And the truth is, it's not the pills you take, but what you understand about them that truly protects you. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't process supplements the same way it did decades ago. Even well-intentioned habits like taking vitamins can quietly backfire if you're not careful. That's why awareness is your most powerful medicine. You don't need to fear vitamins, but you absolutely do need to respect them. Read the labels, ask your doctor, and listen to your body, especially when it whispers. If any part of this video spoke to you, tell me in the comments. What's one change you'll make starting tomorrow? If you found this helpful, give it a like to help others find it too. And please subscribe to Senior Strength Guide so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. You're not alone on this journey, and you're never too old to take back control of your health.